The first item on the agenda is the election of the town mayor for the year 2022-23. Do I have some nominations, please? Councillor Ramsey.
I would like to promote the current Deputy Mayor, Grant Fage. He's done a wonderful job as Deputy and I think he should be taken on as Mayor.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder for that? Thank you. Congratulations, Councillor Fage. If you'd like to come forward and sign the declaration.
Lots of clunking. Thank you.
Set it straight on your shoulders.
Thank you. Got it? Sound off a little straight. Thank you.
Go on again. Thank you.
Perfect.
Right, I will move.
Thank you. Sorry about that for anyone watching online. I've seen the back of my head as my first duty as mayor. Thank you, everybody. I think I need to give the declaration. So item 2 then, declaration of acceptance of office. So I, Grant Graham Fage, having been elected to the office of Town Mayor, declare that I take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability. And I've signed that this evening. Thank you. If I might just say a few words before we carry on. So it's a tremendous honour to accept the position of Mayor of Biggleswade and to be able to represent our town at such a crucial time. Over the coming decades, our town will face enormous change, and the choices ahead of us as councillors and the decisions that we make will shape Biggleswade for a very long time to come. We take our duties very seriously, we make decisions carefully, and we care deeply about our town. This council has a strong team of councillors and staff from a wide range of backgrounds with diverse talents, and I look forward to working with the team in this new role in the best interests of Biggleswade. And some have mentioned to me that becoming mayor, especially whilst in my 20s, is an accomplishment. And whilst there may be a little bit of truth in that, for me, it means rather little compared to the ambitions that we have as a council for our town and the delivery that we've started and the genuine accomplishments that we can already attest to and which are to the benefit of our residents. And speaking of such genuine accomplishments, there's one individual about whom I'd like to say a few words. In Councillor Russell, we've been blessed with an outstanding mayor, a truly outstanding mayor. She's seen our town and our council through truly exceptional times. Councillor Russell's drive to deliver over the last 3 years has been clear for all to see. Her steadfast delivery of the neighbourhood plan, which will shortly go to referendum, the extremely detailed response to Central Bedfordshire's local plan, and the development of the town council staff team, including the appointment of our town clerk and chief executive, Peter Tarrant. These are all immense achievements, putting Biggleswade in a far better position than perhaps sometimes we realise. In my first act as mayor, on behalf of the people of Biggleswade, I formally thank Councillor Russell. The town owes her a huge debt of gratitude, and I ask that colleagues join me in showing their appreciation for Councillor Russell's work as town mayor. And I thank you for your support this evening as well. I love this town and I look forward to working hard for it. Item 3 on the agenda then, the election of Deputy Mayor. Do we have any nominations from the floor, please? Councillor Foster.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Madeline Russell.
Thank you. Any seconders? Councillor Fage. Glad you could make it. Any further nominations for Deputy Mayor?
No, then congratulations, Councillor Russell. We look forward to working with you. Would you like to come forward?
I, Madeleine Ann Russell, having been elected to the office of Deputy Town Mayor, declare that I take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability.
Thank you, Councillor Russell. Congratulations on becoming Deputy Mayor. Item 5, membership of standing committees. For members to determine membership of the Town Council standing committees, information setting out the committees of the Council is in the packs. So, ready to go through all this, everybody. Let's start. So I think we need to firstly determine the membership of each committee, and then we'll ask for nominations of chairman and deputy chairman. Once we've established the new committees, if we ask colleagues please to stand, I know we don't tend to stand that much anymore, but if you could, that will essentially form a meeting of that committee to nominate their chairman and deputy chairman as appropriate. So if we start off with the Town Centre Management Committee, please. As I understand it, the current membership of that committee is councillors Knight, Alban, Bond, North, Pullinger, Russell, Strawn, Thomas, Woodhead and myself. Does anybody on that committee wish to leave the committee? No. Does anybody wish to sorry, is that, you're not signalling, are you, Colin? No. Does anybody wish to join that committee? No. Okay, would the committee please stand then? Okay, do we have any nominations for chairman of the committee of the Town Centre Management? The Town Centre Management Committee. Any nominations for chairman, please? Councillor North.
Yes, I would nominate Councillor Mark Knight.
Councillor Mark Knight has been nominated. Are there any further nominations? No, then Councillor Knight, you're uncontested. Congratulations. We're looking now for a deputy chairman or vice chairman of Town Centre Management Committee. Councillor Knight.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Duncan Strawn, please.
Councillor Duncan Strawn. Are there any further nominations for vice chairman of TCM? No, then you are elected unopposed. Congratulations, Councillor Strawn. Thank you, everybody. You may sit down. Okay, carrying on. So we move to Finance and General Purposes Committee. So the committee as it stands are the following councillors: Councillors Pullinger, North, Alban, Bond, Knight, Ramsey, Russell, Strawn and myself. Does anybody wish to leave that committee? No. Does anybody wish to join that committee? Councillor Mark Foster.
I would like to join the committee if I may, please.
Sure, we can manage that. So Councillor Mark Foster joins the committee. Would members of Finance and General Purposes please stand? Okay, we're looking for a nomination for chairman, please. Councillor Knight.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Rob Pullinger, please.
Okay. Are there any further nominations for chairman? No, then Councillor Pullinger is elected unopposed. Congratulations, Rob. I know you're on a flight on the way to India, but I'm sure you'll be live streaming this. Election for vice chairman then of Finance and General Purposes. Do we have a nomination, please? Councillor North.
I would like to nominate Councillor Mark Foster.
Councillor Mark Foster. Okay. Are there any further nominations? No, then congratulations, Councillor Foster. You are elected Vice Chairman of Finance and General Purposes. Thank you. Please sit down. Thanks, everybody. So I think some of our more eager councillors are like Jack in the boxes for the next few minutes. Okay, Public Lands and Open Spaces Committee. So the committee as it stands is Councillor Frank Foster, Councillors Thomas, Brown, Mark Foster, Knight, North, Russell, Strawn and Pullinger and myself. Would anybody wish to leave the committee? No, good. Anybody wish to join the committee? Councillor Woodhead, you wish to join? Okay, I'm sure we can manage that. Would the committee please stand? Okay, we're looking for a nomination for chairman, please. Councillor Thomas? Councillor Michael North. Any further nominations for chairman? No, then congratulations, Councillor North. You become chairman of Public Land and Open Spaces. We're now looking for a vice chairman of Public Land and Open Spaces. Any nominations, please? Anyone? Councillor Foster?
I'd like to nominate Councillor Colin Thomas.
Councillor Colin Thomas, thank you. Any other nominations for vice chairman? No, then congratulations, Councillor Thomas. You are elected as vice chairman for Public Land and Open Spaces. Thank you. Please sit down. We move to the Personnel Committee. So the current members of Personnel Committee are Councillors Woodhead, Ramsey, Thomas, Mark Foster, Frank Foster, Knight, North, Pullinger, Russell and Strawn. Does anybody wish to leave the Personnel Committee? No. Does anybody wish to join the Personnel Committee? No. Would the Personnel Committee please stand? Okay, we're looking for a nomination for chairman then, please. Councillor North.
I'll nominate Councillor Jonathan Woodhead.
Councillor Woodhead. Any further nominations for chairman? No, then congratulations, Councillor Woodhead. You remain chairman of personnel. And nominations for a vice chairman of personnel, please. Councillor Russell.
Councillor Ramsey.
Councillor Ramsey. Any further nominations for vice chairman of personnel? No, then congratulations, Councillor Ramsey. You're vice chairman of personnel. Thank you. Please sit down. Now, it's not on our sheet, but it is a very important committee, the Appeals Committee. So the current members of the Appeals Committee are Councillors Brown, Bond, Alban, Leslie Fage and myself. So with that committee, please. Oh, does anybody wish to leave the committee? I think I need to leave the committee as mayor. I don't think it's right for the mayor to sit on the Appeals Committee. Does anybody else wish to leave? No, good, because you can't, because we can't have too few. Does anybody wish to join? No. Okay, would the four members of Appeals please stand? I'm looking for a nomination for chairman then, please. Councillor Brown, thank you. Anybody else? No, congratulations, Councillor Brown. You remain chairman of Appeals. We need now a nomination for vice chairman of the Appeals Committee. Last time it was Councillor Bond, just in case anybody's forgotten. So we're looking for a nomination, Councillor Brown. Okay, thank you. Any further nominations? No, congratulations, Councillor Bond. Thanks, please sit down, everyone. Perfect. Okay, so that deals with the membership of standing committees. We now move to item 6 for the Biggleswade Joint Committee. So to elect 4 members to sit on Biggleswade Joint Committee and 2 substitutes. Our current members of Joint Committee are as follows. So we currently have Councillor Russell, Councillor Knight, Councillor North, Councillor Ramsey, and then Councillors Alban and Pullinger are substitutes. I don't think we need to stand for this one, but do any of the sitting 4 councillors who are full members of the committee, do any of you wish to leave the committee? Councillor Knight, you wish to leave. Okay, thank you. Does anybody wish to join Biggleswade Joint Committee? Councillor Thomas. Okay, thank you. Does anyone else wish to join? No. So shall we just put that to the vote then? So all those in favour of Councillor Knight leaving and being replaced by Councillor Thomas, if you should show now, please. Thank you. I think that's carried. And then substitutes, we have Councillor Alban and Councillor Pullinger. I have no indication from Councillor Pullinger whether or not he wishes to stay, but I believe he does. Councillor Alban, do you wish to remain a substitute on Biggleswade Joint Committee? You do, okay. Does anybody else wish to be considered as a substitute for Biggleswade Joint Committee? No, good, because that would have been messy. So congratulations, Councillor Alban and Councillor Pullinger. You remain the substitutes for Biggleswade Joint Committee. Okay. Item 7, to appoint representatives. This is the point where in the meeting where members consider appointments to the following bodies. So we're looking at Bedfordshire Association of Town and Parish Councils, Biggleswade Twinning Committee, the Sir John Cotton Educational Foundation, Fen Reeves Meetings, Langford and Biggleswade Community Fund Group, Police Liaison Officer, and Biggleswade Greenwill Development Group. Okay, let's take each of these in turn. So Bedfordshire Association of Town and Parish Councils, our current three are councillors Ramsey, Thomas and Knight. Are all of you happy? Do all of you wish to remain as the representatives? Okay. Did anybody else wish to join or to replace one of them? No. Then in that case, you remain unopposed. So councillors Ramsey, Thomas and Knight remain on our representatives there. Biggleswade Twinning Committee. So we're looking for one member and one substitute. So current member is Councillor Woodhead. Current substitute is Councillor Alban. Councillor Woodhead, do you wish to remain?
Yes, please.
Okay. Does anybody wish to be considered for the position? No. Then Councillor Woodhead, you remain our nominee for that. Councillor Alban, do you wish to remain the substitute? Okay. Given that nobody wanted to replace Jonathan, Councillor Woodhead, I presume nobody wishes to replace the substitute. So congratulations, Councillor Alban. So the Sir John Cotton Educational Foundation. Now it says here on the agenda we're looking for one member, but I understand we currently have two. Yes, that's right, two, and they are councillors Woodhead and North. So Councillor Woodhead, do you wish to remain? And Councillor North, do you wish to remain? Okay. Does anybody else wish to be considered for the Sir John Cotton Educational Foundation? No, then congratulations, you are uncontested. Number 4, Fen Reeves Meetings. So we have one member and one substitute, I believe. Certainly that's what we elected last year. Councillor Bond, you were elected last year. Do you wish to remain our nominee to the Fen Reeves?
I'd like to remain.
Okay. Does anyone else wish to be considered for this position? Any further nominees? No. Okay, Councillor Bond, congratulations. Councillor North, you are the current substitute. Do you wish to remain the substitute? Okay. Does anyone wish to replace Councillor North as the substitute? No. Good. Congratulations, Councillor North. Langford and Biggleswade Community Fund Group. So this is the wind farm panel, isn't it? So our current nominees are Councillor North and Councillor Ramsey. Councillor Ramsey, do you wish to remain? Councillor North, do you wish to remain? Are there any further nominees for this position? No. Then congratulations, Councillor Ramsey and Councillor North. You remain our nominees. We're nearly there. Police Liaison Officer. Councillor Strawn, you're our current Police Liaison Officer. Do you wish to continue in your duties? You do. Any further nominees? No, then congratulations, Councillor Strawn. Councillor Knight, you're the current substitute. Do you wish to continue in those duties? Any nominees for substitute? No, then congratulations, Councillor Knight. And finally, the Biggleswade Greenwill Development Group. Oh, yes, here we go. We have councillors Bond and Pullinger are the nominees for this group. Do you wish to remain, Councillor Bond?
I'd like to remain.
Yes, and I understand Councillor Pullinger does as well. Any further nominees for this, for the Greenwill Development Group? No. Okay, congratulations, you remain our nominees. We have a substitute for this, which is Councillor Mark Foster. Do you wish to continue in this, Councillor Foster?
Yes, please.
Excellent. Any nominees for anyone else wish to nominate themselves as a substitute? No. Perfect. After all that, it remains exactly the same as last year. Thank you, everybody. Super. Thank you. Hope you all remember what you're on. Item 8, apologies for absence. I have an apology from Councillor Rob Pullinger. He is away on business. Item 9, declarations of interest. Receive statutory declarations of interest from members in relation to, firstly, pecuniary interest and second, non-pecuniary interest. So any pecuniary interest in any item on the agenda? No. Any non-pecuniary interest? Also no. Okay, we move on. Town Mayor's announcements. in my short time as mayor, I don't have anything to update on at the moment, but we may have some announcements from the deputy mayor. Do you have anything to add, Councillor Russell?
Yes, please. My final outing as mayor was on Sunday to Central Bedfordshire Council's civic service in celebration of Her Majesty the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. It was held at St Mary's Church in Woburn with refreshments and networking afterwards at the Woburn Inn. The service, in the presence of Her Majesty's Lord Lieutenant, the High Sheriff and the Duchess of Bedford, was dignified and ceremonial at its best, with an array of British Legion standards from across the area, including Biggleswade. I was honoured to represent Biggleswade. It was a lovely way to end my time as mayor. And then if I could make a second announcement, because we had a meeting yesterday of Access for All for the station. It began with the formal opening of the new cycle storage facility at the station by Richard Fuller. There are 3 types of storage for cycles. Some of it is secure and some open, although it's all covered by CCTV. A fob is needed to access the secure storage. The fob can be obtained from the ticket office on providing photo ID and giving personal details, but it's free of charge. We then adjourned to the town hall for the meeting. Network Rail said that costs have gone up substantially and that they are value engineering by looking at construction methods, but the design will not be changed. That was the thing that caused most anxiety amongst the group. They hope to have final financial approval from their internal investment authority by the end of July, when they'll formally award the contract. They've already been through the tendering process. They expect to start on site in October. The main works will be done over the Christmas line closure, and they still expect the facility to be open by June 2023. Govia Thames Link confirmed that the new toilets will be built during this financial year, male, female and disabled. The transport interchange is still on course to be completed by next March. The detailed design work is still in progress. The traffic regulation orders go to Traffic Management Committee on the 24th of May, and the planning conditions should be discharged by the end of June. Work will start on site in July. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Councillor Russell. Thank you for that update. Extremely important work going on at the station. I know the Access for All working group have been overseeing this for a long time, so it's good that we're starting to see some real delivery at the station now. Perfect. So that was item 10. So item 11 is a public open session. So to adjourn for a period of 15 minutes to allow members of the public to put questions or to address the council through the chairman pertaining to matters on the agenda. I don't think we have any members of the public here in the chamber, but do we have anybody online? If you'd like to ask a question, please raise your virtual hand now, please. We're not getting any indication. Okay, we'll move on. So item 12, minutes and recommendations of meetings. So for members to review the minutes of the Town Council meeting on the 26th of April, which was held here at the council offices. So we're going to go through these first of all for accuracy, please. So I'm on page 1 of the minutes, page 9 of our pack. So can we confirm, please? So page 9, any inaccuracies? Yes, Councillor Page.
I did send an email and apologise for not attending the meeting, but hasn't gone down well with me being late today as well. I do apologise. I sent it too late, I feel, and I learned my lesson. I'll make sure it's sent in plenty of time to be received.
That's okay, and you were here just on time today. Don't worry, literally. So that's all right. I did actually see that email. I think we probably could include Councillor Page under apologies for absence if that's all right. It was received. I think I saw it, and I'm sure Councillor Russell was commenting on it as well. That's okay. Sorry, page 9, page 10, page 11, page 12, page 13, page 14. So are we content that this is a true and accurate reflection of the meeting? Can we move it? Sorry. Oh, sorry, Councillor Woodhead.
Whereas the
the amended minute is now incorrect because it talks about the Biggleswade Joint Committee being recorded at 7 p.m. rather than 2:30 p.m, whereas it should be 2:30 p.m. and not 7 p.m.
Thank you.
Which was the problem with the original minute in the first place. So
that's fine. Thank you. Thank you for correcting that. So subject to that change, are we content that this is accurate? Thank you. Could someone move that, please?
Move it.
Thank you. Perfect. So that was item 12, to receive the minutes. So are there any matters arising? So we'll go through again page by page. So any matters arising on page 9, page 10, page 11, page 12, page 13, page 14. No matters arising. Good. Item 14, planning applications. So to consider our responses on the following planning applications. If I might just say, just very gently from the chair, I realise there's quite a lot printed out with these planning applications. Just for future reference, I think we probably don't need, or certainly there was in my pack, quite a bit of direction around when the planning application came up, etc. I think we can see that online, so no need to print that in future. So we're going through these applications then. So I'm on 14A, 35 Stratton Way, conversion of annex to an independent dwelling. Any comments, please? Councillor Fage?
Yes, I'd just like to make a comment that CBC have been and looked at this venue and they are improved of it, providing the local council are happy for it to go ahead. It's actually the local post office. They've been running that post office for 19 years and the family the elder generation have passed on, so the annex is there now empty. They can't rent it out because it has access into the post office. It's an independent unit and it requires no building, so it will not upset any neighbours. It has 2 car parking spaces and it's, as I say, independent. It's been there for over 10 years, that annex part. So I'd like to recommend that we accept this.
Yep, no objection.
I just wanted some background.
Thank you, thank you. So we have a proposal, no objection, presumably subject to neighbours. Are there any further comments? No, so no objection to this 14A. Thank you. So 14B, 38 Fairfield Road, single storey rear extension. Any comments? Subject to neighbours. Thank you, Councillor Ramsey. Is that okay? Yes. Item 14 then, so 212 London Road, proposed single storey extension replacing conservatory, proposed first floor side and rear extension and porch and front elevation alterations. Any comments? No issue, subject to neighbours. Thank you. D, 33 Shortmead Street, so single storey front porch. I know we've seen a lot around Shortmead Street. Councillor Bond.
Can I correct this? The documents we have in front of us, this has got nothing to do with the land behind 33, which has come to us. This is a building on Shortmead Street, which is only asking for a porch. It's got nothing to do with all our previous hundreds of applications we've had on land behind. So you can probably disregard everything else below that.
Thank you. So it is literally just a porch on number 33. Any comments on the porch? Subject to neighbours. We're comfortable with the porch. Thank you, Councillor Foster. E, 3 St Andrews Close, works to trees in the conservation area. They haven't been cut in over 10 years and they're causing shading in a garden. Any comment? No comment. Note it. And then similarly, item F, number 1, the close. So works to trees, lopping and topping to a name of tree that I can't pronounce. Any comments on this? Yes, thank you. Any comments on this? No, okay, we'll just note this as well, I guess. Item 15, so planning application outcomes, to receive a report of the planning application outcomes. Any comments from anybody?
Note it.
Note it, thank you. Item 16, items for consideration. We have nothing to consider. Item 17, items for information. So communication from the joint chairs of the Biggleswade Twinning Association, Diane Kenny and Sue Cleghorn. Any comment on this? Councillor Russell?
I'd just like to say that it would be great if colleagues on the council could seriously consider the invitation to go to Erlensay. It would be good to keep the contacts with Erlensay, even though the formality of what was signed 22 years ago is now not quite the same. So I'd encourage people to think about going to Erlensay on the dates shown in the letter.
Thank you. Yeah, something to reflect on there. I will certainly be having a look at those dates. Any further comment? No. Okay, thank you. Item 18 then, so public open session. To adjourn for a period of up to 15 minutes to allow members of the public to put questions to the council in respect to any business of the town council. So we have no one here, but we might have someone online. Is anyone indicating? Okay. Andy Skilton. Okay, do you want to pop him through? Hello, Mr. Skilton, when you're ready.
Hi there. Can you hear me?
We can.
Excellent. Well, congratulations, Councillor Fade, on election to Mayor, and all the other councillors onto their respective committees. And thank you, Councillor Russell, for the work you've done for Biggleswade as Mayor previously. I did want to say a bit more than that, as I'm sure you've imagined. Just sort of with all your respective portfolios you've been elected to, I noticed there hasn't really been any mention specifically of sort of sustainability and in the environment. And I just wondered if that sits anywhere specifically. And sort of somewhat related to that, I've been chatting to a lot of other sort of community activists and group leaders, mostly through social media, but obviously I've been out, some of you would have seen me out and about volunteering. I'm quite new to the town and it's a great way to meet people. But just with that in mind, I just thought of a bit of a slogan for the town. And I think I think per capita, we've got more people doing great things out there in the voluntary sector than anywhere I can think of. And so I just wonder if the council might consider calling Biggleswade the sustainability capital of Bedfordshire. I think that has a nice ring to it. And just one other thing is just with the new cycle parking, that really needs to be publicised widely. I only read about it this morning in the Accessible Railway blog. So yeah, I don't know if the town council can push that out through its social media, and obviously I'll be doing it, and I know the community safety group's done it already today.
Thank you, Mr. Skilton. It was nice to meet you on Saturday as well, alongside the community safety group on the market. You've raised a few points there, so thank you for your congratulations, and I'm sure other colleagues are grateful for your kind words as well. If we start with sustainability capital of Bedfordshire, I think that's a nice thing to aspire to. We're certainly packaging together quite a bit when it comes to things like the transport interchange, the bike racks, which you mentioned, potentially this sustainable transport corridor as well. So I think we've probably got a lot to talk about. And, you know, if there are ways that we can help to publicise that as a council, our staff have heard that loud and clear. And we do now have a new joiner who's with us for a little while to help to publicise some of these initiatives a little bit more. So we can certainly take that feedback and see if we can promote some of these things on behalf of the town. You raised another point about the work of others in the community and the wide number of community groups that we have, and I think you're absolutely right. So something we're going to be trying to do over the next few years is, particularly post-COVID, trying to connect in with some of these community groups a little bit better. We already have a community, what's the name? A community engagement group, aren't they? Neighbourhood engagement group, and they do a good job of helping to keep us grounded in our community as a council. So perhaps that's something you might be interested in as well, Mr. Skilton. Finally, in terms of the standing positions that we elected people to, so things like the Twinning Committee and the Wind Farm Panel. So there are some bits and pieces in there about sustainability. The main one probably being the Wind Farm Grant Panel, which has, I forget the exact number, I think it's £25,000 a year, Section 106, which is directly invested into green initiatives within our community. Now, the term green initiative is a little bit loose, you know, it can go to support sport and things like like that. But by and large, they do a very, very good job, and we're proud to represent the council on that. Equally, the Biggleswade Greenwill Development Group as well. They are back up and running again. We were speaking to Cliff Andrews about that the other day, so hopefully we can provide some representation there as well. Hopefully that answers your questions.
I mean, it would be good if it could be a specific thing in someone's sort of job description, for want of a better word, for what they're in charge of. Obviously, it's probably not practical to do anything now, but maybe something to consider for the future.
We will do, absolutely. Something under public land and open spaces, probably. Thank you ever so much. Is anyone else indicating online? No. Okay, very well. So that ends the public open session. We have one exempt item to discuss the corporate aspirations. So could somebody please move that we go into exempt session?
Yeah, I'll move that.
Okay. Is there any objections to moving into exempt session? No. Okay, then I declare this first part of the meeting closed. Thanks ever so much.